Welcome back. It's All Down Podcast. It's your main man, the Unstoppable Bloodbath, back at it again. As you can see, it's just me this time. This is gonna be the Summer Madness recap. Quan, he was busy during that day, so he wasn't able to view it, but I did, and I took notes, and we're gonna talk about it. Gonna get this out the way. This is probably, since it's just me here, I'm not here for all the extra foolishness if it's just me. That's why Hip Hop Shenanigans is Quan's favorite part of the show, not mine. So it's probably just going to be just a recap of the event overall. If I can remember anything pertinent or interesting, I might bring it up. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I always enjoy that. It's nice seeing the people or return viewers. I appreciate that. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. We're going to start with overall opinions of the event. Summer Madness 12, I said was a success. I think it was a successful event. I was glad that the card wasn't like it'd be like 9-10 battles in these cards. And I begin annoyed because caffeine events always run long. This card looked short, but then they decided to have a surprise battle. And honestly, I didn't hate this surprise battle. It was a one rounder. They both did good. We'll talk about it. But overall, some of the battles were duds, but some were good. Some were worth the wait. So I think the event was good overall. We got some grudge matches that have been years in the making, and they wasn't at all what we thought they would be, honestly. So is there anything important about the event that needs to be mentioned? No, I don't think so. So our first battle of the night was Fonz versus Danny Myers. Now Fonz is known as one of the best punchers in the game, and he spent a good bit of that battle calling out Rum Nitty, who was known as the best puncher in the game. And honestly, I don't think Fonz did bad. It's just that we found out that this North Carolina crowd don't give a damn about nobody. All right, so that is something to remember. Actually, that's something to mention. This crowd was unpredictable, and honestly, I liked how unpredictable this crowd was. This crowd was like, look, bro, I don't care what your tier is, who you supposed to be. You can get booed, my nigga. You can get booed, my nigga. And that was different. Some of the boos was unnecessary. Some of them was like, all right, dog, maybe y'all just tired to y'all booing. But other times I was like, okay, I see how we got here. I see why this situation happened. So this crowd was different, and I could tell that the rappers didn't want to be in that crowd no more. Like, they was ready for the event to be over once they realized that this crowd didn't give a fuck about them. So North Carolina, I'm gonna be honest, y'all niggas probably not getting an event for a while. Y'all, everybody who from North Carolina who wanted to go to an event, y'all should have pulled up to Summer Madness, because they not gonna be there for a good minute. The crowd was not rocking with their show. So you know how this goes. You know how it is. They're gonna take it back up north to where everybody gonna love them again. So certain regions like certain things, and certain regions also don't want to be insulted throughout the whole battle. We gonna talk about it though. We gonna talk about that, because that's like one of the biggest things to come out of this whole event, right? So, like I was saying, Fonz and Danny Myers. That was the first battle of the night. Danny started the battle off. You know how Danny Myers do. He the bar guy. Started off very intricate wordplay. His first round was a little like he wasn't as energetic in the first, right? But he did get some bars off. Like, just the thought of giant slugs dragging me underground gives me tremors. Like, he had some lines in the first, but the crowd wasn't fully awake yet. So Danny Myers he hadn't descended to peak Danny Myers' energy yet. He was just warming up in the first, but he was getting them bars off. But it was an okay round. Fonz came out in the first and was trying to like take the Danny Myers energy that Danny usually has. So he came out strong with some parallel universe bars. He said he talked about parallel universes and portals. I'm finna leave him full of wormholes. That was a good one, having the first. But after that, the crowd really wasn't picking up on him though. Like, the crowd was getting stale on him real quick, and I don't know why. I don't know what he did wrong. Maybe when I listen to it again, maybe I'll better understand. But on reaction to it, I was like, these bars ain't bad. This crowd just don't care about you, my boy. But the rest of the first, he was just spitting. Like, he had bars about Vicky, Danny Myers' wife. He had the reindeer scheme. I thought that was pretty good. So then Danny started off strong in the second. This is where Danny picked it up, and this is where it got dark for Fonz. Danny picked it up. He started off with a great rebuttal, Danny style. You know how Danny do. They was throwing hats at him and stuff. Then he jumped down into the crowd. You know what I'm saying? He had to get down there with his fans, get down in the trenches, and like he was just in his bag. He was in his bag. Just because you're built like Av, that don't make you screet. Like he was doing Danny things. His energy was up, and then once Danny gets his energy to that level, and the crowd is behind him, it's not an easy battle. Like at that point, you know you in for it with him. So you're like, I think the goal against Danny is to try to keep him from getting his energy up. If you can keep him from doing that, you got a good shot. You got a good shot to beat him. But Fonz came out. He was having a good round. He had a pretty good and one basketball scheme, but then his energy dropped off a lot. And then the crowd was not feeling him, and they actually started booing that nigga. Yes, they booed him. First battle of the night, boos was already there. And I said, oh, damn. Oh, wait. I take it back. This is not the first battle. This is the second battle. They had a Crucible battle before this one, like as a warm up thing. I forgot to mention that. I apologize. That wasn't bad. Back to this battle, though. So, yeah, they started booing him. And you could tell that he was not prepared for that at all. Honestly, I don't think the boos were warranted. His bars really weren't bad. The crowd they was just all Danny at that point because Danny had the energy. Danny had the energy, and I think that's why the crowd was like, "Oh yeah, this guy, only him." So I think that's what happened to him. Danny came back in the third and actually made a joke about all the boos that Fonz was getting. And that's what really, that was a nail in the coffin when niggas is freestyling bars about how you getting booed. It it's a wrap at that point. Honestly, it's a wrap. The crowd woke back up as soon as Danny was out there spitting them bars, and that sealed the deal for Fonz, in my opinion. Fonz tried to make a rebuttal, and he only got booed harder. Why would you make a rebuttal or try to spit about how you're getting booed? They're only gonna boo you more, my nigga. I was so confused. I was so confused. But he was trying to get his respect back. But towards the end of his round, like he was fighting back the best he could. Towards the end, the crowd was slowly starting to rock with him again and give him some praise, especially when he started going in with the Vicky bars, talking about Danny's wife again. That was the only way he got the crowd to like him, surprisingly. Insult another man's wife is the only way he could get his respect back. I don't know why that is, because everything else before that was pretty decent, except for that rebuttal and mentioning the fact that you're getting booed. That was a bad idea. But you live and you learn, and he learned a lesson. Give that battle to Danny. Probably gonna say up to 3-0. Honestly, that was 30. Then they had a surprise battle. It was a quick one. It was a one rounder of Hollow versus Verb. Two niggas who I don't really enjoy watching battle personally, but everybody has their preferences. And I didn't hate it. Both of them had pretty good rounds. It was decent. I was like, okay, I didn't mind either of their rounds. Verb was rapping way better than usual. He was actually putting good punchlines together, which surprised me because he wasn't just rapping about how amazing he is, because it's usually what he does. But he had some good punchlines in there, and I appreciated it. And then Hollow started cooking towards the end. Hollow was really picking it up towards the end. Like Hollow had a pretty good round as well, and I didn't hate it. I was like, okay, this is cool. We need more one rounders, Smack. We need them. Maybe it'll make the events go by fast. Hopefully. So yeah, that one was just a freebie. You know, so that was a bonus battle, and I appreciated it. Then the next battle, we got Shotgun Suge versus Chess, and this was it wasn't highly anticipated, but some people wanted to see what Chess was going to do, because this wasn't Chess's original opponent. Originally, Chess was supposed to battle Daylight, but Daylight backed out saying that he didn't want to do it no more. So then Suge filled in to battle Chess, and Chess started the battle off real slow and pacing, trying to pace it, like trying to make sure he get too excited. He had a couple decent lines to start. Then he did a fake choke, like he made a bar about it, like, yeah, nigga, like I'm here now. And unfortunately, that led to a real choke, and he, Chess has that acid reflux issues, like he be throwing up and stuff. So then he spent at least like 5 6 minutes just trying not to throw up, and like it was really dragging the event on, to be honest with you. So and then Suge was about to start rapping. He's like, all right, bro, like we really can't like keep waiting because we got other battles. But then Chess got it together enough to like fight through the rest of his round and finish his first. So Suge went, and this was a great Shotgun Suge performance. All 3 rounds, like Suge was in his bag. Like Suge didn't have to go that hard. Like honestly, because Suge went in and he picked the energy right back up. Suge was rapping that day. Okay, Suge's energy was hype. He had great punches to all 3 rounds, and he had Arsenal right beside him. He had Arsenal and he had Twerk right next to it. And Arsenal was being hype man of the year right next to that nigga, bro. Like Arsenal was acting like every bar was a haymaker. Arsenal was going crazy for his boy. Like all of Jersey was hype behind that man. So then round 2, Chess. I'm gonna say this. Chess had a wrestling bar every round. Y'all know how much I love wrestling bars. He started off with some decent wrestling bars, but then he just ended up cutting it short. He ended up cutting his round. He cut his second and his third short. Like his energy was off, and he couldn't get it back at that point. He knew it was over with, and he just had to let it go. Because Gun Titles was right behind him, like Easy and Rock was right behind him, like trying to get them together, but it just wasn't working. It wasn't working. So then Suge started in the second with some crazy bars, and then the second was even better than his first point. And his second, he just kept going. And it was so bad that the crowd started chanting, "Leave him alone!" Like he was killing this nigga. Like it was clear that this nigga caught a body. Sorry about the random cut right there. My camera decided to act weird. So anyway, like I was saying, the crowd started chanting, "Leave him alone." And it was only the second round. Like you knew, all right, bro, it's a wrap. This nigga caught a body. Like this battle is done. End this shit. But he wouldn't. And it was so bad, like Arsenal was like, bro, leave that man alone, bro. Like chill, dog. It's over with. Then third, Chess, he tried to rap. He really tried to get around together, like force it, but it just wasn't working. So he just stopped, and he just like stopped it early. And at that point, it was a rap. It was already a rap, but it was a rap. Like Suge, he didn't stop. Like you know how it was like, bro, you already won the battle. Like clearly, you don't got to keep going. This nigga did his full third, and it was probably his longest round of the battle. Like Arsenal and Twerk was trying to get that nigga to stop. Arsenal was like, bro, let's go. We don't gotta do this no more. Let's just walk off, bro. Like you don't gotta kill this man like this. Like the all the theatrics was very entertaining because it made the body worse. Cause it was like, bro, you don't gotta do this, dog. Like Leslie, they was trying to drag him away, and he just kept rapping. It was like, bro, he's dead. He dead, my nigga. Like, let it go. He wasn't letting it go. He had to make a point, and he caught easily one of the worst bodies of the year was caught at Summer Madness, and it just had to be to Chess. Man, it's a shame what he did to that man. Golly. So yeah, that was probably performance of the night. Probably performance of the night was Shotgun Suge. Shotgun Suge here getting his respect. I know niggas like me was hating on him for a while, but look, respect that man. He a vet in the game, and lately he really been proving people like, yo, I beat some of your favorites, but niggas still try to disrespect me, and I get it. Talk your shit, Suge. Talk your shit. So then that was Gun Title's first loss of the night. Was Chess. Next, because Tay-Rock was already amped after watching his boy Chess lose, like he was in his bag. He was like, all right, bro, like y'all not finna do us like this, and we Gun Title. So next was Tay-Rock versus Swamp. Swamp being in his home state, Swamp feeling himself. Swamp said, you know what I'm saying? It's Swamp time. You know what it is. This battle was highly anticipated. A lot of people wanted to see this. I'll be honest with you, I did not want to see this. I like Swamp. Swamp has earned everybody's respect. Swamp on a great run. I did not feel like Swamp was ready for Tay-Rock though. And in the first round, my predictions were correct. In the first round, Swamp started off pretty good. He didn't stumble not once this battle, which is great for Swamp. That's really good for Swamp. His first round, it was fun, and like he had some good shit in there. Even had that the genuine bar at the end. That one's pretty fun. Like he had some good stuff in his first. Unfortunately, Tayrock decided to go next, and he killed that nigga. I'll be honest, that first it wasn't fair. Like his first was crazy. He was cooking that nigga in the first, and it got scary for Swamp. Like Swamp, you could tell, you could see in his eyes, like, oh, he's like, oh damn, I'm getting cooked. Yeah, man, deep fried. It was rough in the first. Tayrock's first was immaculate. So then in the second, Swamp had to pick it up. Swamp picked his energy up, and he was flowing on him. He was doing much better in the second. But even in his home state, that's what I said, the crowd's unpredictable. They was about to start booing that man. He was on the edge of a boo, but he kept going and rapped through it and picked himself up to where he was doing okay again. Here's where Tayrock decided to shift the entire energy of the battle. It was a shifting in the atmosphere. Tayrock decided to be in the South and insult the South. He started making jokes about country bumpkins and eating raccoons and shit. And the crowd started booing that nigga. And then instead of trying to shift, he just doubled and tripled down on it throughout the rest of the battle. And his arrogance wasn't helping him. Like, I don't know why he would tank his battle like that. I don't get it. It was just a lazy angle to take overall. Cause we get it. You're from the North. I get it. You're gonna make bars about the nigga being Southern. We expect that. But it was just the laziness of the angle. And people was on Twitter, like, the raccoon jokes was crazy. Twitter was wilding with raccoon jokes. Like that was like the best thing to come out of this battle. Because at that point, like after this, Tayrock was just eating booze the rest of the battle. And he was trying to act like he didn't get it, nigga. You know why you was getting booed. You don't show up in a state and just insult the state the whole time. And I was talking to my homie from Shaq for Philly about this. He was like, maybe I don't get it, but like, do niggas really love eating raccoons that much? And I was like, bro, it's not about the raccoons. Like, I've never ate a raccoon in my life, but like, bro, it's just corny. It's lazy. We get it. He's country. So what? Like, nigga, it's not about the raccoons for real. Like, that it was funny. Don't get it twisted. I never ate a raccoon either, but it was funny. But it's like, that's all you gonna talk about? Is how lame the South is? Like, nigga, you was yelling shit like, you country bumpkin, you country as fuck. Like, that's not an insult, bro. Where are the actual bars? Like, put together and like a decent scheme together about why, like, about his countryness. Because you was doing good in the first. He was talking about all his kids and all that, and I was like, all that stuff was interesting. He was making fun of his accent. That stuff was interesting. It was a southern like this, but you had an angle at least. It wasn't just fuck the South. Ooh, nigga, you country. Like, bro, that's lazy. It was lazy, and it didn't go over well. And then after Rocks tanked in the second, Swamp could only go up from there, my niggas. They had Swamp looking like a savior at that point. Swamp was looking like the king of the South at that point, cause yeah, he was on in the third. Like, Tayrock handed that nigga the battle. It was crazy to watch this nigga's heel turn, to use wrestling references. This nigga did a full heel turn, and then he got booed more in the third. Tayrock liked getting booed. I'm convinced he liked getting booed because he tripled down on the bad angle and continued to get booed throughout his third, and then the battle ended. And even after the battle, when it cut to J Black and DNA, like, doing, like, you know, commentary between the battles, Tayrock even went over there, and my homie Public Enemy B said that Tayrock cut a heel promo, and he really did cut like a heel promo, talking about, like, man, fuck these raccoon eating motherfuckers. Like, he just kept going in even after the battle was over. Like, he's like, yeah, I expected that a little bit, but hey, bro, I'm not gonna let the crowd beat me. I'm gonna talk my shit. Fuck these raccoon eating motherfuckers. Like, he just was going in, bro. Like, he was in full supervillain mode. So we gonna see if this energy carries into his next battle. That nigga not coming back to North Carolina. I can tell you that. But that was Gun Title's second L. Next up, to hopefully make sure Gun Titles didn't lose the whole night, Sous Surf versus JC. The card was moved around a little bit. Apparently, this is supposed to be the headliner, but it worked out better for Surf because apparently Surf had to leave to get on a flight to go to Rolling Loud, so he had other things to get to. So I understand. So this is the battle that JC been calling this nigga out for years. JC been saying, bro, I want Surf, I want Surf. Surf be ducking me. I want Surf. Be careful what you ask for, niggas. Be very careful what you ask for because I don't think JC brought the proper bars for this establishment. Like I said, this crowd is already unpredictable. And JC brought like the small room, make you think type of bars to a room full of people who wanted haymakers. This ain't what you do in a room with a crowd like that. And it showed very quickly. JC, his first round wasn't bad. Like it's just he started talking about like how Surf got his hands and everything. He made a lot of lines about Surf being like a fake and a snake, you know what I'm saying, thief ass nigga. And it was a really good round technically. Technically, it was a really good round as far as rapping. Like it was a really good technical round. But then the difference is JC is not really a performer. Like his energy be the same throughout all his performances. And Surf performs. And it carried Surf to a victory in my eyes because already in the first 30-9, Chris Hansen wasn't like us. Like he was heating up and the crowd was feeling him because Surf was giving them a show. Like I said, this crowd wanted a show. And Surf said they tried to say it was pen versus performance. I got a ballpoint too. I could have played for the Hornets. Like it was he had good bars and the performance was there and it made it a rough night for JC. It made it a real rough night for JC. Surf had the crowd in the palm of his hands after his first round, and it stayed like that the rest of the battle. Because JC came out in the second, and the second it wasn't bad. It was entirely too light of a round, and it just didn't do what it needed to do. The crowd was about to start booing. To be honest with you, I know JC not used to that, but Surf literally told the crowd to chill. Don't boo this nigga. Like bro, like come on y'all, chill out. So then Surf went out in the second, did more Surf things. He rode the wave, and look, I guess we found out that JC couldn't walk on water because that nigga drowned. He went into the third, and he just kept bringing up Surf skating because like Surf was like skating, and then he made a video of him skating. Niggas, like I guess JC thought niggas would be bothered by it, like skating is whack. Maybe it's I don't know where JC from, Virginia. I don't know because in North Carolina niggas don't care if you skate. Skating isn't a weak thing. Like skating isn't weird in most southern places. So North Carolina wasn't really bothered by the nigga liking to skate. Like skating in the South is cool. So I didn't get why he kept bringing it up like niggas thought it was gonna make Surf soft. It was a pointless angle. Surf went again in the third. It was a clear 30. The battle was over with. Yeah, Surf 30. This was Gun Title's first win of the night. Gun Titles finally had a point on the board because Rock and Chess couldn't pull a victory in their battles. So yeah, Gun Titles was having a shaky night. So the last battle of the night was Easy to Block Captain versus Calico. This battle was funny. Calico said he wasn't walking out till they played WWF, and he said he meant that shit. It was like a 3 to 4 minute wait before they finally played that nigga song, and then he finally walked out and performed it. Like, hey, but I respect it though. As somebody who like wrestling, I get it. You ain't gonna come out till you hear your theme music hit, like, and he meant that shit, and I find it entertaining. So he finally appeared after they played his music. So I was looking forward to this battle, but also not looking forward to this battle because Easy Block Captain be having some of the longest rounds in battle rap. He be having like 10-15 minute rounds in a 3-round battle, and it's like, nigga, what the fuck is going on here? So that was the only thing that I wasn't looking forward to be honest with you. That's really the only thing. Calico, I never know what to expect from him, but I did feel like he was gonna rap this battle. I felt like he genuinely wanted to beat Easy. Like sometimes, Calico, sometimes he don't be caring. But I felt like he cared this time coming into this, and so I knew he was gonna do good. And Calico, Started off really strong in the first because Calico went first. Calico started really strong in the first. He said, "This ain't my first rodeo. I'm finna whip him as soon as Bull move." Like Calico has some bars. Calico was really bringing the bars. And then like he had a scheme in first. He was saying how easy, not really from Philly. So it was it was clear he put some effort into this one. So I say that Cal is prepared. He's clearly trying to battle this time. So after Cal's first round, I said, "Okay, Cal, I see you. That's my boy right there." Easy. I want to say this. Easy did not have crazy long rounds. I was very proud of him. He had his first round was pretty good. He had some punches and even got some decent reactions from the crowd. His great energy though. Easy always has great energy, and I appreciate that from him. He keeps his energy up every battle, no matter what's going on. You know, Cal, he gonna stay in his bag and spit his shit because he all about like real talking niggas. So, but I did give Cal the first. I did. Round two, Cal had another pretty good round. Nothing too crazy happened in the second, but it was a pretty good one. Easy. He also had a good round, solid punches, and I. This is where the battle started getting tricky for me because the first was Cal clearly. I gave Cal the first clears, but the second is when it got murky for me. I was like, I don't know. I don't know which way to go. The second round could be considered debatable in my eyes, but I gave the second to Easy. I can understand if somebody wanted to argue for Cal. In the third, this is where Cal messed up. His third, he spent too much time like talking about his daughter, and like I get that it was in a loving way, but it was just he spent. I don't know. He didn't have enough. He didn't have enough like haymakers in the third to really carry him to a win. So I feel like he kind of gave it away in the third. Personally, I think the third was his worst round, and Easy capitalized with a strong third, and he had a great closing round. So I gave the battle to Easy 2-1, which means the gun titles went 2-2 for the night. Um, and it's gonna be interesting because like the streets are saying they want a gun titles versus EFB like event. We're gonna see how that goes. We're gonna see how that goes. That should be interesting. I'm like, I mean, I'll watch it. I know some niggas is like, man, after watching the gun titles lose like this, I don't know if I want the event no more. Shut up. You know you're still gonna watch that shit. Shut up. I'm gonna watch it. So I think it's gonna be good. They also announced Mooc versus Geechee in November. What was that? I think it was November. It was November. Actually, as someone who's been on the show saying I think Mooc is pretty much done. I'm actually looking forward to that battle because I think style wise, Mooc and Geechee will actually be an interesting battle. I really do. I know it goes against some things I've said in the past, but you know, people can change. People can change. I think I've changed. I really do think that battle's gonna be good. I'm actually looking forward to that. I need to see what else is gonna be on the rest of that card. But I do think that's gonna be entertaining. I really do. But that was Summer Madness overall. The event was pretty good. They was having a lot of technical issues though early on. A lot of technical issues. And then even for me, maybe it was just my computer was being weird, but the event stopped working on my computer like during Suge's third round. It just died. It never came back up, but it kept working on the app though. So I finished I watched the rest of the event on the Caffeine app. I don't know why it wasn't working on the computer no more. It was weird. Maybe it was just me. That's possible, but I think the event was solid. I think it was a solid event. It didn't feel like a Summer Madness stuff. I'll tell you that it did not feel like Summer Madness, but it was cool. I think they could do better, and I think they want to do better. We'll see. Honestly, we'll see. I don't know what to look forward to with them right now, besides the Geechee and Mooc. Anything else? Ain't no telling. I think they had like a Crucible thing a couple days ago, but it's not out yet. So yeah, that's what's going on Summer Madness. Let me know what y'all think about it. Leave a comment below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I know you can subscribe because if you watch this much of this video, you know you want to subscribe. So I think you should. So yeah. I want to thank you for tuning into another episode of the Hold Down Podcast. We appreciate all the views and all the fanfare that people show us. You know, the tidbit that we get drives us to move on and keep doing this show. If you want to follow me, hit me up on all my socials at Not Bloodbath. Talk to me. I talk back. I'll talk this battle rap stuff. Quan's not here, so I'm not gonna say his socials because hey, look, he wasn't there. If you want to hit up the show, hit us up at Hold It Down Pod on all our socials. They're all the same. That's Twitter, IG, and TikTok. Fuck with your boys. So yeah, remember to tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a bitch to tell a hoe. You know the South gonna hold it down.